I was hoping this moment wouldn't come, but it has finally arrived. Time for me to do the one piece that I really wanted to cut from tonight's show. But my wife said I had to do it, so I'm doing it. It's an improvisational piece. It involves movement and words. And there's no script, there's no funny noses, there's no character for me to hide behind. Just me and the unknown. And when I start to feel comfortable, if I get to a point where I actually think I know what I might do or say next, I'm going to take a sharp left turn without using my turn signal. The idea here is for me to surprise myself. You have just as good of an idea of what I'm going to say as I do. It might not always make sense, and it's scary as hell, but it's also kind of fun. So, stop making sense. Okay, I brought my ironing in, and I was really expecting to get it back by some reasonable time, but then I understood from the ticket that I got that I had to appear in court the next day. So I did. I drove over in my Maserati because I'm a very sporty sort of a guy, and I got to court, and there was a man there with a big mustache, and he waxed it, and it stuck out, and it looked like a saber. Or no, maybe it was more like a saber-toothed tiger, and he did have that kind of a smell to him, if you know what I mean. If you've ever met like somebody totally prehistoric, like you, for instance, you know, you can just tell that there's somebody that, like, their fingers are just so long and their nails just fall on the ground and you're just left picking them up and listening to the ocean in them. Oh, this is delightful. Oh, I believe this. Yes, totally. This is the Indian Ocean. I'd recognize it anywhere. And then I took the iron and I started pressing my shirts because I like a nice pressed shirt. It makes me feel tall and elegant, like a cigar box Indian or something like that. Something made out of wood that is substantial, something that you could plant in the ground and water and it would grow and cast a pall of a shade on a sunny day, and you sitting there with your gin and tonic and martini, because you are a two-fisted drinker after all, and you're pouring them in your ear because you read somewhere that gets to your brain a little faster. And it really does seem to work that way. I mean, that was my experience when I was in a Shea's lounge with Fidel Castro and somebody else who was crashing the party. I mean, we were hanging out. We were old friends. We went to school together. Well, he and my father, but we don't really talk about him. But one night at the dinner table, there was a real mess. It was really awful. There were lobster claws everywhere. And I just kept picking them up and thinking, wow, I think I should put these back in the water. So I did. And I got in the water with them, and we got on a small boat. It was a nice boat. It just paddled right along. It felt very good. Yeah, it rocked in the waves a little bit, but I like rocking. Of course, I always loved rock and roll, but I never thought I would be here in front of all of these lights, just with my guitar that I really had forgotten how to play because I only have one left hand, and that's not even it. So I don't know what to make of that. I mean, whoa, well, it is kind of nice, yes, okay, but I'll just put it in. No, it keeps rising. Oh, I love to bake bread. Bread is so good. I mean, something about the aroma. It just smells like, really like an old saber-toothed tiger, which is one of my more favorite smells. I got some cologne of that one time, and I put it on, and I tried to meet some people, so I went to a pub, and it was really kind of a wild scene there. You know, there were disco dancers and balls that fell from the ceiling. It was like Christmas all over again. There was garland, or there was somebody named Judy. Could have been garland, I don't know. Could have been somebody else altogether, but there I sat, waiting patiently with my bow, which I'd never shot before, because I'd always been a pacifist. But now I could see the enemy. They were in the White House. Yeah. And I was ready now with my bow and arrow, but then I decided I'd rather do hard time than something like that. So I sat in the corner waiting for my teacher to ask me a question, and they never did. She never asked, never called on me once. I sat in that chair for years, I think. I mean, all my friends, they just graduated and went to college and became doctors and lawyers, and I'm just still sitting here in this chair. I don't know what to make of it, but I think I will get up because it feels good to walk around every now and then. Feel the breeze cross your hair. Well, if you still have any, but you know, I don't have that much, but I've got enough. I mean, I've got enough to put in a box anyway and give it to somebody who wants some hair. You like a little hair? Oh, thank you. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, thank you. Now take good care of that hair because that was my hair. I mean, it wasn't really mine, it was his, but I took it from him. It was a magic trick that I did. It was very, you didn't even know it, did you, sir? Of course not. Okay, so anyway, and then, how do my socks get holes in them like this? I just don't understand. I mean, when I was a cowboy, this never happened. I mean, sure, my lassos would fall apart and the saddle was never what I wanted, but my socks held together very well. They were Wigwam or something like that. I mean, they were a good quality brand, something I bought in a local store from Mars or some other planet, but was really very festive being in the rocket ship going there. It was nice. They had very comfortable lounge chairs and they played TV and served Tang, which I love. No, I mean, Tang to me is like, yeah, you gotta love it. And, you know, I put it on my cereal, I put it on steak, I put it on anything I can. I even put it in my bed one time. And then when my cousin came to visit, I tucked him in. And then I realized, oh, that's not my cousin. That's a gerbil. What are you doing in my bed? And then it hopped up on my hand and I brought it over and I put it in his cage and it started to run around in a circle, 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 in a circle. And energy was created. And that's how it happened. That's when the first small little inkling of a little nuance, of a little piece of gossamer, of a little piece of DNA, of a little piece of, oh, that's lint. Bye. I think we'll end it there.